Hey, this is AP Reviews here again today. This time we're going to be looking at the X1S Dashcam by BlackBox. I just want to start off by showing you, if you have this out of the car, it's as simple as this: putting it back in, slip it into the mount, push it over a little bit, put in the micro USB cable, and then also place the GPS cable in there. And then you turn on the car, and once power is detected, camera comes on, and it is recording at this point. So I'll just let you watch some of the video that I recorded with this camera as I talk about it. This is somewhat early morning, so lower light, but not what you would consider probably usually low light, just not a bright sunny time of day. So when you open the box, you're going to find the camera. You get two different suction mounts. One of them has GPS mounted to it, the other one does not. You'll get a charger, you'll get a micro USB cable. That charger would be a car 12-volt charger, and the micro USB is just your generic cable. And then you get a software CD with some drivers, but honestly, if you have a newer computer, you probably don't even need to do anything with that. And I'll show you later another piece of software that I think works a little better. So build. You get this thing open and you're going to notice right away that it's entirely plastic. That's never something that I'm happy to see, but it does make for a very light package. One that can still be bigger than some other models, but still, plenty light. Even the lens housing is, that cheap chrome plastic look you'll find a lot of places. I haven't had it chip off, but it's just something that I see and I'm like, oh no, not again. You do have 5 different buttons on here. You have your power on top. On your right side, you have an up and a down for selecting in your menu. Then on your right side, you're going to end up with your OK and your menu button. Now for those accessories that come with it, the charging cable is very long. You might open that up and think, what am I supposed to do with all this? But what it's meant to allow is you can run the cord straight up from the camera and then behind some of the trim pieces and around and down to where you could either plug it in, or if you have someone that's handy with your wires, they can chop the plug off and put it wired right into your car. Now those 2 different mounts that I told you about, one of them is just a simple suction mount that snaps on, nothing else, but the other one is, I think, the one that most people will be using. It has the GPS attached to it. And in some other cameras you might find that GPS on a long cable that you have to figure out where to put it and mount it. And this just means that it's right there, out of the way, and you don't have to worry about it at all. And the last thing build-wise is I was happy to see that this includes a mini HDMI port on here. So if you don't have a computer around to save the files off, you can still share them with people, show them on any newer TV, as long as you have that mini HDMI cable. Now for how it works, I have a couple things I don't love about it. The menus, because you're working with such few buttons, they can be a little confusing and counterintuitive, but again, once you get it set, there's no reason you should have to be changing any of those anytime. And then the screen is always on if the camera is recording. If you're driving at night, you don't want to see that out of the corner of your eye. You just want it to be recording and have the video for when you need it, and never think about it any other time. But those are the only things that I found I didn't like about it. That ability to set it and forget it is really convenient. You do it one time and you don't even have to take it out of your car. Now some people won't be able to use that ability because it determines when to turn on based on power, and some cars don't turn the 12-volt outlets off when the car is off. So if you do that, you're going to have to either use the power button on the camera or unplug it every time you want it to turn off. Once you have your video, you can just pull the card out or take the whole camera. It's up to you. If you have a mini card reader, and just pop that into your computer and you can watch it in your favorite viewer. Now that CD that came with this has a program on it that you can feed these video files into, and the camera has added some data to them for your location. And while you can use that software, I actually found a similar but one I like a little better called Registrator Viewer. Just search online for that. Should be able to come up with it. It's just got a few more features. So once you put your video into either of these programs, you can hit play and choose what mapping service you want to use, but it'll show you your speed in the software, and it'll show you your location on maps as you're watching the video, all live. So that's, just a fun feature and can help you figure out where something may have happened. While using this software, something I caught on was some numbers didn't match up. If you look at the bottom right corner, you'll see my speed, and if you watch the video and know anything about kilometers an hour compared to miles an hour, you might think, that's an odd speed. And sure enough, it seems to be giving my speed in miles per hour, but it has a unit of kilometers an hour, and I haven't found a way to be able to update that. And along with that overlay of the video, you can see the time on there. You can have the camera set to auto-update that as long as you're using the GPS mount, because that data can come from the GPS. And last but certainly not least, probably most important, the video quality. You've been watching that as I've been talking. I'm very impressed with it. For something in this small of a package, it's not something you'd record a movie on professionally, but it's definitely going to give you all the detail that you would ever need. If you're looking for a small dash cam, this, it's not perfect, but for the price point, it's definitely something that I would say you should check out.